Hi, I'm Hub Arkush, along with senior editor Eric Edholm, as we continue our series of Pro Football Weekly's 32 NFL team training camp opening reports. And the Philadelphia Eagles will go camping with a new middle linebacker. Not nearly as much change as the season before. All happened late in August after the holdout, but a couple of key veteran moves here could make a big difference for this ball club.
It looked for a while like Ryans was going to be the only veteran addition that they would make of any kind of note, and that was until Jason Peters, the all-pro left tackle, went down. They went out and signed Demetris Bell, who was surprisingly still on the market at that point, a left tackle with some talent, but he's approaching 30 years old. We'll have to see if he is that standout player. Most of their help did arrive from the draft. Fletcher Cox, Michael Kendricks, both those guys could play heavily as rookies. Vinny Curry, the defensive end in round 2, could end up being a pass rush specialist. So you're right. It's going to look a lot like last year's team in terms of the personnel. Obviously, we'll have to see if they perform better.
Offensively, so much firepower. They can run the ball, they can throw the ball, but they never seem to quite put it all together. Where will they focus on offense in training camp to make that happen?
It's been all about turnovers with Michael Vick especially. Vick knowing when to throw it away, when to go down, when to run, when to fit it in those tight spaces. Turnovers absolutely killed this team. It seemed like they happened at the worst possible time. Fourth quarters, tie games, things like that. So getting some kind of balance. They were actually a better run team than our throwing team a year ago, and also keeping the ball on offense and not succumbing in the fourth quarters. Those are the biggest things, I think, for the Eagles.
This team got knocked out of the race early because of their defense. They actually played pretty good defense the last 5 weeks of the season. Still, I don't think anybody saw Juan Castillo coming back as defensive coordinator, but there he is. He's got DeMeco Ryans. Where will they focus to make sure they don't get off to the slow start this year?
It was a combination of the defensive line, playing that wide alignment, giving up these big running gaps, and then also the linebackers not being able to clean it up. So I think having DeMeco Ryans in the middle, having athletic guys like Kendricks there to help out, competition at the other spot, I think there's going to be better assignment football and better tackling there. So the secondary remains a question. We'll see what happens at safety, but Castillo being there, able to teach and learn the system himself, those are two big things in terms of development this offseason.
Any of the young veterans who've been good enough to make the roster but not make a difference on the field figure to step up this year and really improve this ball club?
Well, Deshaun Jackson's been in the league a couple of years, but he signed this contract and they need him to be better flat out. There's no question about it. I'm looking for Danny Watkins on the offensive line, the first-round pick a year ago. Kind of struggled as a rookie. I think he could take a step up. And then on defense, Nate Allen at safety, we mentioned him. He's a playmaker, had a 3-interception game. He's somebody that if he plays well and feeds off that pressure up front, he could have a lot of turnovers for us this year.
Anybody on the roster bubble who will surprise us?
I think at one point somebody thought Trent Edwards was probably going to be the leader as the backup to Michael Vick. I now see him being as the fourth guy. I think he'll get cut. Probably not talking about Brandon Graham, the former first-round pick. I think he'll make this team, and I think he's actually going to have a bounce-back here, but it is a very crowded position at defensive end. There'll be some talent that gets picked up at that spot at other teams.
Huge training camp for the Eagles. We know how tough the fans can be in Philly. Can they get off to a better start this year? For this and all of our 32 NFL team training camp reports, stay right here at ProFootballWeekly.com, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.